In modern times, we often associate the concept of an out-of-touch, elite class of rich people with the French Revolution. This calls to mind the famous quote that is often misattributed to the Queen of France during that time, "Let them eat cake." While far from the extreme nature of the French aristocracy, many reactionary right-wingers and conservative right-wingers have noticed that a lot of people who are called celebrities in our world have become much like the French aristocracy. This has resulted in a sort of cultural divide between what so-called celebrities think is good and reasonable and ethical versus what average people, including apolitical average people, think is good and reasonable and ethical. Put simply, many people have come to the belief that celebrities and celebrity culture and Hollywood culture generally has become out of touch. In this series, I will seek to examine why this is the case, why people believe this is the case, and the potential solutions for this problem. Mark Dice did a video the other day reviewing the recent Oscars and how they have reached a new level of ridiculous with regard to their politics and corporate virtue signaling. The Oscars purposefully signaled their love of diversity by having an overrepresentation of black people winning awards to the point where it was obviously done on purpose. They also had an overrepresentation of so-called, quote, LGBTQ people, close quote, as well as general advocacy for progressive causes by the host and the award winners. In addition, there was also drama that Mark Dice covered about a month ago involving The Bachelor and a diversity disaster they had in which the winner was found out to have attended an antebellum South-themed party in her youth. This made the mentally ill people on Twitter, the cathedral, and the black boyfriend angry. If you're the type of person that watches my channel, you are very much aware that Hollywood is very progressive, and as a group, celebrities are very progressive. In this installment of my What's Wrong with Celebrities series, I want to speculate about why this is. Why is it that basically every single Hollywood actor or actress parrots the talking points of Destiny or David Pakman? Why is it that the Oscars forces diversity down the throats of its viewership? And why does The Bachelor get so upset over deviations from progressivism that happened years ago? It is this that I want to get to the bottom of. While many philosophers from Aristotle to the present day believed that humans are rational by nature, I think it has become very clear that humans are not rational. Humans are very sensitive to peer pressure, fashion, and the psychological need to conform to their society. Just as children often want to have the same toys, watch the same TV shows, or do the same things as other children, regular people will change for their social group in terms of behavior, interests, and values. On the political right, this person is called, quote, the normie, close quote. In order to survive, the normie has in his brain a strong desire to conform to the group and the ability to intuitively know how to navigate the social world in any social setting. This necessarily requires the normie to be conformist, even at the cost of reason. The desire to conform to the social world was and is necessary for survival from an evolutionary viewpoint. Human evolution does not care about anything except the reproduction of genes. But historically, survival in the wild was very important for the reproduction of genes, so human psychology, first and foremost, evolved to keep humans alive. In primitive times, it would have been very important to be at least sufficiently popular with the members of your tribe and maintain a good reputation. It is much harder to survive in the wild as an individual, but even if someone could survive as an individual, other people are needed to have children and raise those children. As a result, nature rewarded the genes of people who oriented themselves toward the social world and who lacked critical thinking. Human evolution does not care about rationality, but only the survival of genes. Aristotle was wrong about human rationality. Human nature is to conform to the social group and to be oriented toward the social world. This necessarily means a sacrificing of the individual to the collective and a sacrificing of the ability to reason in order to conform to the social world. In society, one needs to have a good handle on the social world in order to rise in society. The better one is at navigating the social world, the more one will rise in society, i.e., become a celebrity. In order to be a famous actor or actress, one has to have this conformist social instinct. Disney is not going to hire someone to play a part in their movies if that person is a nonconformist who does not follow the herd. Such a person would harm the branding of the company. If one is going to enter the social class of famous people, then one has to be way more conformist than if one is a worker at Starbucks, Walmart, or some factory in the Sun Belt. As a result, Hollywood will select for the most conformist, social world-oriented, status-seeking people. And this creates a class of particularly conformist and sheepish people who are rich and high status. The desire to conform and focus on the social world then naturally transfers into politics, because if a person is sheepish and gets their values from the social world, then their politics is going to come from what is fashionable among the social group. This means that if an actor or actress enters the world of famous people, then he or she will smell the air and know which values to adopt to fit in. In our historical moment, the politics that one believes in to become high status and maintain high status is that of BLM, the SJWs, and the woke left. This is the first and main reason why celebrities are woke. The woke are in power. Power is fashionable, and the high status need to be fashionable as part of their programming. The very nature of the world of famous people selects for people who can smell the air and know how to navigate the social world and what values to hold to get by. And because progressivism is the status quo, all the famous people are going to be progressive. While conformity is the main reason why the famous have gone woke, one element to Hollywood wokeness is the nepotistic nature of the industry. The creation of the movie industry created an elite class of famous people who were selected for their conformism. Yet, at some point, these people faced the problem of making sure their children could have the same happy life as them. So began the strategy of grooming the children of celebrities to continue in the industry. Why would celebrities do anything else for their kids? They have friends in the industry who will do them the favor of hiring their kids, so why waste an opportunity to pass on the status of being rich and famous to their children? Why have the children work at Starbucks, Walmart, or some factory in the Sun Belt when the parents and friends of the parents can just gift the children a seat in the club of famous persons. Big capitalists in many other industries passes itself down through the same families by way of nepotism. So why wouldn't Hollywood do the same? Belonging to this class of famous families can and will influence a person's political views and push them to the left. If a person grows up in the class of famous people, then they are going to live in the richest parts of the richest cities, go to the best schools, and hang out with other rich people. If a person spent their entire life growing up in this social setting, then there is going to be a good chance their parents, teachers, and peers are going to spoon feed them progressive ideology, since the richest parts of America tend to be leftist. Yet there is also another effect that this kind of wealth has. It makes the people who grow up wealthy out of touch with other people who are less wealthy. Extreme wealth often causes a fundamental lack of understanding of what it took to get that wealth. This is because the person never had to earn it themselves. This spoiling of children could also contribute to being woke, and therefore why celebrities are woke. The last reason why celebrities got woke is because of the nature of the city. Now, I already said before that big cities are very progressive, and if a person grows up in a place like LA or New York, then they were likely spoon-fed woke values as children. However, there is another element to the problem of the big city than just that, and the other element is the worldly, cosmopolitan, multicultural, global nature of the big city. While it may not have been like this in the past, the fact of the matter is that the cities have become divorced from authentic ancestral identity. In the past, there would have been a strong ethnic, tribal, or civilizational identity that was burning in the hearts of the peasant farmer in the countryside. A Scottish, Swedish, German, or Russian farmer would have strong roots in the local village and land. The farmer would have had a strong sense of ethnos, local community, and rootedness in the land and nation. But the modern American city is a place of anti-culture. It takes peoples who settle in the big city and removes them from their ancestral roots. The result is a kind of urban new man who is divorced from a people, native land, and culture. This urban new man is instead global, non-cultural, and not attached to a particular place. This is the final reason for why celebrities are woke. Conservative values tend to correlate with rootedness in an ethnos, nation, or local village. The person living in a small village in North Dakota has roots and a people that he is a part of. This naturally leads to conservative, traditionalist, and nationalist sensibilities. On the other hand, the LA or New York City person does not have this natural psychological barrier to wokeism. This matters when we are talking about celebrities, because those types of people are generally products of the big city and therefore particularly cut off from what our ancestors had in the past. When we look at the actors and actresses of Hollywood, we are dealing with a class of hyperconformist, rich, out-of-touch global people. Their wokeness is a product of their condition as urban rich people and their genes. These conditions have made an absolutely degenerate class of high-status, woke signalers who are contributing to the fall of mankind at the hands of the woke. But anyway, this is going to have to do it for this video. Sorry I haven't uploaded in weeks. Finals got in the way. If you like this video, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, and like the video. This is Wolf signing out.